Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 15, Economic Development, lecture number 8. Friends, up to now, in this chapter we have discussed in the previous lecture about how this economic development is important for any country. Friends, we discussed about the meaning of economic development, that what is economic development, why this economic development is important. We discussed that economic development is not only related to the development at economic level, but also it is the overall development of the country. We also have to aim towards the development of the society, that is known as the social development. Friends, we also discussed about the development, that which factors or we can say which indicators are measured to look the economic development. There are three indicators, that is national income, then we can consider as per capita income and the standard of living. Friends, these are some of the indicators that are very important to measure the economic development. We discussed in detail about all the three of them. We also understood the meaning of difference between economic growth and economic development. We discussed the three major differences. One, on the basis of development. We discussed that if we look at the increase or we can say the growth in the per capita income or the national income of our country, that can be measured easily, and that is why it is considered as a quantitative aspect. This can be considered as the economic growth. Friends, while on the other hand, when the living standard of the people is increased, then it is the quality of the life of the people, and it is considered as the qualitative aspect, which is very difficult to measure. Friends, this is considered as economic growth. When there is increase in the standard of living of the people, then it is considered as economic growth. We discussed about the second major difference, that is the change of economy. When we see the change in the economy due to the several research in the production of anything, then it is considered as economic development. We looked at the example of the farmer. When the farmer increases his production in his farm due to several researches by using hybrid seeds, fertilizers, and he increases the production, then it is called economic development. But when the farmer increases the production by more land, by more agriculture farm, he is increasing the production, then it is considered as economic growth. We also looked the major difference on the basis of developed and developing countries. If the national income of the developed country is increased, then it is considered as economic growth. But when the national income of developing country is increased, it is considered as economic growth. Friends, here we clearly understand the difference between these both the things. We also understood that there is a all the countries of the world, they aim at economic development only, not only economic growth, because economic growth is not sufficient. If the country's national income or per capita income is increased, but still the living standard of the people remains same, then it is of no use. The main purpose of the increase of national income or per capita income is to increase the living standard of people. This national income's benefit can be taken, the increase in the national income or per capita income's benefit can only be taken when the living standard of that country can be increased. And that is why, friends, we can say when the living standard of the people is increased, then and then the economic development is considered in that particular country. Here, economic development, when the living standard, we are talking about the living standard of people. That means it considers all the facilities like education, health, communication, transportation, each and everything. And if the people is living the high standard of life, then we can say the aim of economic development has been achieved. Friends, we discussed the different features of the developing economy, developing countries, in which we discussed the different factors like less per capita income. That means in the country which is developing, we experience the per capita income to be low. Another feature we understood, that was the population growth. In such kind of developing country, the population growth is always high. It is more than 2%. Friends, another feature that we understood was the poverty. Poverty is also one of the important characteristics when we are talking about as a feature of developing economy. 1/3 of the population lies in the poverty. Another feature we understood, that is unemployment. It is also one of the important characteristics. More than 3% of the population are unemployed in such kind of countries. We understood another feature, that is unequal distribution of income, in which we understood that maximum national income of our country, that is the 40% of our national income, is shared by the 20% rich people of our country. While on the other side, only 10% of our national income is shared by the 20% of the poorest family. So this is unequal distribution. We also understood about the dual economy, on which there is one side where we can see less production, old machineries are used, people are not living proper standard of life in the villages, new production is not seen. While on the other side, cities are being developed, new technology has been used, new industries are developed, people are living sophisticated lifestyle. So friends, here we can clearly see the effect of dual economy. Friends, we also understood about the form of international trade, in which we understood that these developing countries, they mainly export agro products and mineral ores, which is less in demand and less price they get from the export of these agro products, and due to which, when they have to increase their production, they used to import new machineries, technologies, due to which they have to pay more money for that, due to which the export income is less while the import expense is more. And that is why sometimes in major part we can see these developing countries foreign debt is increased, because they have to take the loan from the developed countries, due to which their foreign debts increase. Friends, after understanding these all things, we also understood about the economy and non-economic activity. In economic activity, we understood that whatever activity that is done, any activity that is done with the purpose of economic gain or economic benefit, then it is considered as economic activity, in which a person gets economic benefit. If a person does any kind of work in exchange of any money or any other service or economic gain, in which economic matters, it is considered as economic activity. Non-economic activity is just the vice versa of the economic activity. Any activity that is done without the purpose of economic gain, then it is considered as non-economic activity, like social services, charitable trust, mother nurturing her child, lots of such services, such activities which are considered as non-economic activity. While on the other side, the work done by any teacher, any doctor, engineers, any labor, in which he gets money in exchange of that, that is considered as economic activity. Friends, today we are going to continue and move towards another topic, that is that today we are going to learn about an important topic on economic development, that is the classification of economic activities. Classification of economic activities. Friends, today we are going to learn about the classification of economic activities. Here it is said, when we talk about the classification of economic activities, here it is said, the economic activity of a nation, the economic activity of a nation can be classified into three sections or parts, we can say. The economic activity of a nation can be classified into three sections or three parts. They are first, primary sector, second, secondary sector, and the third one is service sector, or we can also say tertiary sector. Primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. You can also consider in this way. Also you can consider as primary sector, secondary sector, and third is service sector. Friends, this question is very important in the consideration of your board exam. So please understand this. Economic activity of the nation can be classified into three sectors, into three sections, or you can say three parts. They are primary sector, secondary sector, and service sector, which is also known as tertiary sector. Let us move towards understanding the first, that is primary sector. Let us understand about primary sector. The primary sector includes the primary. If we talk about the primary sector, it includes agriculture and agriculture related activities. Friends, here it is said that the primary sector includes agriculture and the activities that is related to agriculture. So these we can agriculture and the activities related to agriculture that we can consider as primary sector, such as the first example is the cattle rearing, cattle breeding, cattle rearing, cattle breeding, fishing, poultry farm, fishing, poultry farm, collection of forest materials, collection of forest materials or forest products, we can say mining of raw materials, etc. Friends, here we can clearly understand that which all activities can be considered in the primary sector. The primary sector includes agriculture, that is farming, and agriculture related activities such as cattle rearing, cattle breeding, fishing, poultry farm, collection of forest products or forest materials, you can say, mining of raw materials, etc. These all activities can be considered as primary sector. Friends, we can consider that these activities are considered as the activities which earn low income. Primary sector's activities earn low income in consideration to the secondary and tertiary sectors. Friends, you can see these activities. These activities are the activities in which a person can earn low income. So friends, you might have understood about the primary sector. Now friends, let us move to a second sector, that is secondary sector. Friends, let us understand the another sector, that is secondary sector. In general, secondary sector is also called industry sector. Friends, if we talk in general, it is also known as industry sector, or we can say industry, right? So maximum the manufacturing work is seen in this kind of sector. The secondary sector includes small and big industries. Friends, here it is said that the secondary sector includes small and big industries, factories, constructions, electricity production, and supply also, we can say. Then gas and water supply, etc. Friends, if we talk about the activities that is involved in the secondary sector, that is small and big scale industries, we can say, small and big scale industries, the factories, constructions, electricity production and its supply, gas and water supply, etc. These all activities are considered as a part of secondary sector. These all activities are the important part of secondary sector. Here it is said, thus, when we talk about the secondary sector, or we can say industry, thus secondary sector or industry includes production. Friends, here it is thus when we talk about secondary sector or industry, it includes production of each and every item, of production of each and every items, right from small pin to gigantic machines. Friends, here it is said that these secondary sector or industries includes production of each and everything, each and every items, right from small pin to gigantic machines. Whatever production is done, right, that is considered that industry which produce something, which manufactures something, that industry can be considered as a part of secondary sector. Friends, if an industry is producing a small pin, then also that industry is considered as a part of secondary sector. And if an industry, they are manufacturing or producing big machines that are used in industries, then also that industry, that factory can be considered in secondary sector. Friends, here we can clearly understand that secondary sector, its other name is also industry. That means from where anything can be manufactured or produced is a part of secondary sector. So friends, you might have understood about the secondary sector as well. Friends, let us understand about the third sector, that is service sector. Friends, let us understand about the third sector, that is service sector. As the name suggests, this sector, as the name suggests, this sector includes all the services related activities. Friends, here the name itself suggests service sector, means any sector that is providing service to you. For example, if you visit to any restaurant, they are providing service to you, right? They give proper service. Whenever we give any views related to any restaurant where we have visited, if any of our close person, we always suggest them that yes, that service is good, that service is not good. So here, such kind of activity that is related, that is giving you the service, that is in this service sector. Services like trade, services like trade, communication, airways, waterways, education, airways, waterways, education, health, banking, transportation, health, banking, transportation, then insurance, tourism, entertainment, etc. Friends, if we talk about this service, here it is said that services like trading, communications, airways, waterways, education, health, banking service, transportation service, insurance service, tourism service, entertainment services, these all etc. These all services are included in service sector. These all services, these all activities are included in service sector. Friend, here when we are talking about these economic activities, primary sector, secondary sector and service sector, we can also see the income in all these sectors are different. In primary sector, we see the activities which have low income for the people. The people that are involved in primary sector, their income is low, while the people involved in the secondary sector, their income is more than primary sector but less than service sector. And friends, if we see the activities that are involved in the service sector, here it is said, in any nation, the people engaged in the service sector, they always earn the high income. Means there is more income in the service sector related in comparison to primary and secondary sector. So friends, here in mostly if we look in the developing countries, we can see the growth of service sector is more, due to which that country are more developed, because the income in service sector is more in comparison to primary and secondary sector. And when we were learning about the features of developing economy, we learned that the feature of developing economy was also dependence on agriculture. That means most of the countries, they are involved in the primary sector. The developing countries, most of them are involved in primary sector. That is why their income is less. So friends, here today we understood about the three sectors, that is primary sector, secondary sector and service sector. Hope you might have understood all the three sectors. Thank you.